4:9. First Samuel 4. First Samuel 4. First Samuel 4, what do you call it? 9. Verse 9. Let me read that also and see what it says there. There are lots of it to find, but at least we've been reading good. Some sort of the idea that I'm trying to say has been, most of it has been pointed in the Bible, but not directly, not straightforward as it's meant to. So because there are other sides that there is an encouragement for them to defend and fight. The Jewish people spend their life fighting and defending them so many times, and even they still do. It's all coming from the counseling they get from here. They don't even need to do that. It is God's work. It's God's place to do that, not their place to do that. So even though we're having a few statements which coming up that way, don't be too excited thinking that no, Christianity good. There's nothing good entirely advice coming out of it. This has been said here. The book has got both sides. Maybe with the Quran there is a straightforward deal here, but with the Bible it's got both statements, encouraging it and also giving you assurance that you have to let God do the work. So you are caught in between. Which is which? Do I have to let God do it, or I have to do it myself? And God enabling me to do it. But God doesn't have to hold you to do anything. He doesn't have to put you into that situation where he's going to neglect you at the end of the day because of his own set of laws, which tells you from the commandments not to be doing certain things, or from the gospel, whichever way, and put you in that situation, and then he's not going to be there. And words like, why have you forsaken me? Because you advised me to do it, and now you're forsaking me. It will come into place or come into your mind. Because if he's going to lead you through that angle, then he has to be there with you all through to the end. So that if the people revolt or stand against you for what happened, then he's always there to be with you. That's the thing. That's going to leave you along the way. Then there's no point to misleading you to even do anything like that. 9 says, be strong and conduct yourselves like men, you Philistines, that you do not become servants of the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Conduct yourself like men and fight. You understand? This is advice to the Philistines, for them to fight the Hebrews, not to become like them. Now, I don't know why. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out to battle against the Philistines and encamped beside Benazar. And the Philistines encamped. This is the whole. I'm trying to read through the chapter 4 to see the idea of why it was said so. And this is the Jews fighting the Philistines. And the Philistines encamped in Ephah. Then the Philistines put themselves in battle array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 men of the army in the field. And when the people had come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, why has the Lord defeated us today before the Philistines? Why has the Lord defeated us, has left us? Let us bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh to us. The ark is something which contains thou shalt not kill. Now they are suggesting that maybe the ark is not there, so they should bring the ark to another location, and maybe that will help. They are not even considering the loss of the ark. And he defeated it today before the Philistines. Let us bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh to us, that when it comes among us enemies, when it comes among us, it may save us from the hand of our enemies. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from there the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, who dwells between the cherubim. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted so loudly that the earth shook. Now when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, "What does the sound of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews mean?" Then they understood that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp. So the Philistines were afraid, for they said, "God has come into the camp." And they said, "Woe to us, for such a thing has never happened before. Woe to us, who will deliver us from the hand of those empty gods? These are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness." This history backing the Jews at this time of losing, because now what has happened is making them sort of retrospect, think about the history of the Jewish people and what they've achieved during the Egyptian time and all that. The Philistines were worried. "Be strong and conduct yourselves like men, you Philistines, that you do not become servants of the Hebrews, as they've been to you. Conduct yourself like men and fight." So they have to be advised. This is where the advice comes in. So it's not necessarily God or any advice. They were having advice among themselves here about how to, defeat the Jewish people. But at the end of the day, the Jewish people were at war with the Philistines. They were at war with the Philistines. People who have strongly been advised by God. Yet, so there was something that convinced them that God was with them to go and fight, because God has been with them in so many battles. God has encouraged them to make so many battles in so many instances where the judges and the leaders have been asked to go to war, to fight, to defend themselves as a nation. So the Philistines fought, and Israel was defeated, and every man fled to this tent. Even though the ark was there, they were defeated. But why wouldn't they be defeated? To my view, my common view, somebody who was not there. Because I already know from the same Bible that the ark contained a law that is from the same God, telling them "thou shalt not kill." Now, how are you going to avoid killing when you are at war with your enemy? And you to bring that ark there, what was their suggestion? What were they thinking? The only thing they would think about is that bringing the ark there will make God express himself in such a way that they will not even fight at all. They won't fight, and God will drive the enemy away. But that didn't happen. And when that didn't happen, they end up fighting. Because when there is no God or any evidence of any God, you have to defend yourself, fight the way you know how. And when they did that, they lost. So that means at the end of the day, God was still not there. Now, if it were God to be there within the ark or anyhow, to my view, I don't think they should fight at all, and that should be the case. But in that time, maybe they were expecting that when God comes to their presence, because history has told them that when he's there, they fight and people die, life is taken, and it's okay with that. God is not going to accuse them of disobeying his laws for one way or the other. I don't know if these stories are really true. There was a very great slaughter that day, killing, massive, serious killing at that time. And there fell of Israel 30,000 foot soldiers. They died, 30,000 foot soldiers. Also, the ark of the God was captured. They even captured the ark and the commandments there. And the two sons of Eli and Hophni and Phinehas died. To the children, the priests, high priest children who are supposed to be the holy people guiding them, they were captured. They died. Then a man of Benjamin ran from the battle line the same day and came to Shiloh with his clothes torn and dirt on his head. Now when he came, there was Eli sitting on a seat by the wayside, watching, for his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. When Eli heard the noise of this outcry, he said, "What does the sound of this turmoil mean?" And the man came quickly and told Eli. Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were so dim that he could not see. Then the man Eli is the high priest at that time, said,